My understanding, I don't know how many more guns he had. Apparently had a stockpile of guns in his house in addition, we should try to figure out where he got those weapons, and that gun dealer or that gun show should be sued till they're out of business.
3 days later.
One was an AR-15, the other was a 9mm. We've confirmed through our lab both of those weapons were privately made firearms.
Another example of let the facts come out first before you open your mouth. Welcome to another installment of the Connecticut Gun Bench. Today's video is brought to you by P.A.N. Firearms, LLC. P.A.N. Firearms, NRA certification and multifaceted gun training. You can reach us at 203-300-6343 or use our website at www.panfirearmsllc.com. As always, there'll be a link in the description box below. And if you like my channel, like my content and what I do here, you can support me with the link in the description box. Everything's appreciated. And let's talk about this. Now, if you remember back July 3rd, there was a shooting in Philadelphia where we still aren't clear on exactly the motivations of this person, but they claim that they shot 5 people because they wanted to help the police curb gun violence. That's the initial fallout we've had so far. But the Philadelphia mayor immediately went on a tirade, and you heard it, and I've done a video before, but you heard a little bit there, where he said that the gun dealer and gun shows should be sued out of, they should find out who they are and sue them out of existence. Well, now come to find out that he's got egg on his face in the worst way possible, because the guns that this person used were what they call ghost guns. And in response, in just an amazing double, I don't even know how to explain this, because talk about just falling off the cliff and flapping your arms, hoping that somehow you will save yourself. They decide to sue 2 companies that make 80% lowers, JSD Supplies and Polymer 80. They don't know who supplied the actual 80% parts. They're just suing these 2 companies because they make them. Now, I'm going to play this video for you. You saw a little bit of it, just a chunk from the police chief there. But I'm going to go ahead and play the whole thing so you get a good context of what's going on here.
This morning, days after police say this gunman opened fire randomly in a Philadelphia neighborhood, killing 5 people and wounding several others, including a toddler, the city is taking aim at so-called ghost guns, the kind of weapon allegedly used in Monday's attack.
One was an AR-15, the other was a 9mm. We've confirmed through our lab both of those weapons were privately made firearms.
The city is now suing 2 manufacturers of ghost guns. Those are weapons that can be purchased online and assembled at home, posing a major concern to police because the guns are untraceable and they can be bought without age or background checks.
The manufacturers attempted to avoid liability by claiming that it is selling parts, not guns. But the gun kits they sell can be assembled in minutes by virtually anyone.
Philadelphia has seen a 300% increase in the number of ghost guns used in crimes over the last 4 years. And nationwide, ghost gun recoveries are up nearly 1,100% since 2017.
The ATF doesn't know about them. You're required by federal law, once you make these guns, to call the ATF and register it with a serial number. That's not being done.
One of the ghost gun makers being sued has already faced multiple lawsuits in Los Angeles and Washington, D.C., amid growing concerns about gang violence.
They're going in the hands of gang members, convicted felons who obviously can't go buy a gun. So they're getting ghost guns.
The gun makers have not responded to the new law.
Heard that, and you saw that. So let's understand. This mayor ran off at the mouth before he knew any facts. The facts don't support his ideology and what he planned on doing or what he advocated for the victims and victims' families to go do. Now he's suing a company that makes the parts without even knowing if those parts were actually from those companies. Let's jump in here. Philly leaders sue ghost gun manufacturers just days after mass shooting. The manufacturers are accused of skirting Pennsylvania's gun laws. Well, technically, the manufacturers are not skirting Pennsylvania's gun law because it's not an operational firearm when the person gets it. If that person turns it into an operational firearm and does not follow the law as it is written by registering and serializing the item, that's not on the manufacturer. That's on the individual. But these people are not big on holding individuals accountable for their behavior. It's always an agenda, and it's always someone else's fault. We are the blameless society. But just days after a man wielding 2 ghost guns, including an AR-15 rifle, shot 7 people, 5 fatally in a Philadelphia neighborhood, according to authorities, leaders of the city filed a lawsuit against 2 companies that manufacture parts for the untraceable firearms they say have been wreaking havoc on their streets. It's actually not the parts that are wreaking havoc on your streets. It's the criminals that are wreaking havoc, and the fact that you won't hold them accountable and give real-world consequences to their bad behavior. But don't let me get logical with you, though. The lawsuit was in the works prior to Monday's 4th of July weekend rampage, according to city officials, that say they hope the litigation will help stem the flood of homemade firearms that are increasingly used to kill and maim in Philadelphia and in cities across the nation. Quote, in the last 4 years, the use of ghost guns have exploded all across America, Philadelphia Mayor Jim Kenney said at a Wednesday evening news conference to announce the lawsuit. Let this be a warning to those manufacturers. We are coming and we will not stop. The lawsuit filed in Philadelphia County Court of Common Pleas names as defendants Polymer 80, a Nevada gun parts manufacturer, and JSD Supply Incorporated, a Pennsylvania gun part maker. Quote, defendants Polymer 80 and JSD Supply ship their products to any address in Philadelphia without a required legal background check because it's not a firearm. What they ship is not a firearm. If you make it into a firearm, it's on you now at that point to then go and register it. And if you're not going to do that, there it is. Excuse me. Or any other effort to verify a buyer's identity or age as it is required by Pennsylvania state law, Philadelphia City Solicitor Diana Cortez said. Cortez said companies allow buyers to skirt gun laws by selling firearm parts that are made into fully operational weapons with no serial numbers or any way to trace them. But that's not on the manufacturer. Once you make it into a functioning firearm, because when it just forget the representative's name, but when that package comes to you, it's not a gun. When you mill it, it's now a gun. Now it's on you to do what's right. If you're not going to do that, you're the one breaking the law. But once again, it's personal responsibility, but they don't care about that. And Philadelphia Deputy Police Commissioner Frank J. Vernor Jr. said in Wednesday's news conference that the suspect in this week's mass shooting, 40-year-old Kim Brady Carricker of Philadelphia, was armed with 2 ghost guns. Both guns were homemade, an AR-15 rifle and 9mm handgun. If he were to drop that weapon and got away, we would have no way to trace them, Vernor said. You would have found him. Don't give me that crap. He said it remains under investigation whether the suspect built the guns from parts ordered online or if he obtained them in some other way. Like I said, they don't know for sure that the 2 companies they're suing actually supplied this guy. They're just suing him. And I could go ahead and come down to here. Roughly 87% of the ghost guns recovered in criminal investigations in Philadelphia this year were made with parts that were manufactured by Polymer 80, the city officials said. Now, don't need to get any further. Polymer 80 did not return message from ABC News. Why? Why should they? But let's go ahead and come out of that. So the mayor just basically, like I said, he jumped off a cliff and now he's flapping his arms. He jumped off the cliff by claiming, let's go sue the gun manufacturers or the gun shows where this guy got the guns. The guns weren't from a gun dealer nor from a gun show. Oh, let's go ahead and sue Polymer 80, even though we don't know for sure whether or not the frames and receivers actually came from Polymer 80 or JSD. But let's just sue them anyway, because you know what? It's flaming hypocrisy, because I think this mayor needs to look at that Ukrainian pin he's got on his chest there and just realize how the billions of dollars we're sending out there to get people killed. So don't let me go down that road. These people are hypocrites of the worst kind. The only person responsible here is this character, the person who pulled the trigger. But it's once again, it's just that slow roll I've always talked about. Let's just keep suing and suing until these people just basically give up. That's what this is about. It's not about nobody's safety. Because after let's just go down the rabbit hole and say, let's just say they get rid of all the guns. The violence continues. Once that violence continues, but there are no guns, except for them. They have guns. They have guns to protect them. Let's be clear about that. Once we go down that road, they're not going to say anything about the violence because they're not going to give a damn. This isn't about your safety. It's about control, period. Gun control. It just couldn't be made any simpler than that. But I'm not sure what Parliament 80 or JSD are going to do in this case. We're just going to have to wait and see. I mean, they're being served suit. And we have a similar situation going on here in Connecticut where the Attorney General here, for all intentional purposes, broke the law. Broke the law to prove that a law could be broken, then turned around and sue the manufacturers of the places where they had illegal parts shipped into the state from. You just got to wonder what these people are thinking. But let me know what you think. As always, you can leave your comments in the comment section below. And as always, any statements of violence or statements that lead to violence will be removed. Please like, share, comment, subscribe. Don't forget to hit that notification bell so you're notified the next time a video goes live. I will see you on the next one. Peace.